I would always think about a kitchen. Hey, we're going to have hot dogs and chili. Only hot dogs and chili, Terry. There's a bunch of guys. We're going to draft fantasy football. Hot dog and chili will be good. That's it. It's guys. What else do they want? And of course, that wasn't enough for Terry. He's got to make a salad. And then he's got to stuff some jalapeno peppers. And then he's got to make some devil's eggs. And then he's got to have wouldn't nacho cheese be good to go with this? Maybe the guys like nacho cheese. It's just when you got through, the table was like a banquet for a king. And it's just some guy who's going to draft some football players for fantasy football. But it was always, that was Terry. Always going over and beyond what was expected. And I really appreciate it about my brother. And I hope that I always remember him for that.
That's my brother Terry. I mean, if I wanted to put it in a little package and tie it up, loving God, loving and caring for others. There's my brother Terry. Terry was always faithful. I'm really going to miss him a lot. I know heaven is fuller because he's there, but this place seems emptier because he's not. I love you, brother, and I look forward to seeing you again. I can't help but think of our trips to Thailand, and your heart for the children and for the prisoners. You have the heart of Christ lived out in your flesh in many places. And I know that I only knew you a few years, but they were really better years because I knew you.
The highlights of my time was the children. I loved the children. I loved the refugee camps.
I've got to know Terry really well for 2.5 weeks. This was in Thailand in 2012, November. One of the things that Terry taught me was humility. The guy was very, very humble, and I just hope some of that rubbed off on me during this time in Thailand. We had a great time. Him and I were even on an elephant ride at the elephant park, and it was just a great time being with him. It was just a grand time, and I think I'm the one that's blessed to have known him, and someday the Lord is going to put us back together, and we'll meet him again in the presence of the Lord.
I've been thinking all day about you, Terry. And I couldn't help but remember back in 2011, as we were getting ready to go to Thailand the first time, that you kept saying that the children's faces kept coming to you, and especially a little boy. And remember when we went into Cream's village, and that cute little guy, all he did was followed you everywhere you went. And it seemed every time I turned around, there he was, sitting on your lap, patting your wonderful tummy, and looking up into your beautiful eyes. And since I know you're now with the Lord, I see that little girl in Zaida's camp that came up and said, "I only have one eye." And you took her in your arms, and you said, "That's all we need. I only have one eye." And you prayed for that sweet little innocent, wonderful child. And I've considered these days, and I can't help but just remember how many lives you've touched clear across the world, and all of them so close to you here at home. Very, very wonderful, wonderful every time I think of you, and I'm so grateful that I will see you again. And for all those little guys and gals in Thailand that looked into your beautiful face, I am so grateful you're now looking into the very beautiful face of God. And he has said, "Well done, my good and faithful servant."
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Terry, you're going to be very missed here. We love you all dearly, and you're in an awesome place. I know that. I'm so happy that you're there. Just want to say that I used to help Terry in the soup kitchen for about 8 months. I did a lot of things as far as helping him do dishes in there, cutting a vegetable, just whatever and stuff. And just Terry was just a very, his heart was just all in that for helping people and stuff and making sure everybody got fed and stuff. So I just wanted to say to him both and his wife that I love you guys very much, and just praise God, Terry, where you're at right now.
If ever there was a person that you could say dependable, faithful, true, and servant, that's who he was.
I'm going to miss hearing his keys in the hallway when he was coming to my office on Mondays.
Terry didn't want us patting him on the back or clapping for it. Everything Terry did was a service for God.
I saw an amazing man of God that genuinely loved God and had such an impact at so many levels, from the kids to the adults.
I'm going to miss the times we have in Thailand because I know we talked about going again.
I just remember Terry as being one that was willing to live out his life of service. He was kind of a no-nonsense man's man. He always appreciated help.
He was a teacher, and we loved to share recipes together, or maybe a new way of doing something, or if he had a new gadget, he was always ready to try it out and show us all here. He was a servant.
I think he loved everything he did, because if he didn't love it, he just wouldn't do it. He was such a servant. He did commodities for over 20 years in Hopeville, making sure that he distributed food to the people that needed it. Even when people were unable to come and pick it up, he would deliver it to their houses.
He was like a father/mentor to a lot of people, because he was a great guy and you could pretty much talk to him. I burnt my hand real bad one time. He took a look at it and he's like, "Oh, you'll live." I busted my head open one time. He looked at it, "Oh, you'll live." He's like, "Oh, your stitches already come out." He was like our /doctor too, so he was really close to our family and everybody else, and we'll miss him.
I mean, Terry, since I got here, he was an amazing worker. And then later on, I found out about him just serving out of the goodness out of his heart. And I looked at him and Carol more as examples of what God does in your life, and how she's always by his side. And you know, Friday night, Thursday, you can come in and you'll see them working together, preparing for KWAM.
He tried really hard, and he always tried to make me feel at home when he started talking about Germany and all these things. But yeah, I'll miss him up in the office.
Yeah, you know, one of the things I remember about Terry was, first of all, the love he had for people. I mean, we all know that. But, you know, I saw a special love that Terry had for the youth, you know. I remember one year we asked him if he would help us to cook when we went up to Spirit West Coast up in Monterey. And he didn't know exactly what he was getting himself into. But he did it. He went up there. And after the first year, he was excited about going again. Matter of fact, he was so excited that he actually went out and bought a trailer. He bought himself a trailer with a little kitchen in it, and he was all excited because he wanted to take it up to Spirit West Coast the following year. So sure enough, there we go. Took the trailer up there, and he had a blast. I mean, he enjoyed cooking for those kids. Had breakfast for them, lunch, dinner. We just had a great time with Terry, man. And you know what? We're gonna miss him. We're gonna miss him. We love him. And just on behalf of all the youth, you know, he always had breakfast for us when we went out on events. I just want to say that we love him and we're going to miss him greatly, man. God bless.
I think about the girls at Hannah House. You were doing a bunch of repairs and things around the house, and there was a gentleman who said to them they needed a handyman. They needed a man there. And they said, "We don't need a man. We have Terry." And you thought that was so funny.
He was one of those incredible, trustworthy friends, servants of Christ that did what needed to be done no matter what was asked of him, and he always had a smile on his face.
When I return the next time, I'm going to have sandals like everyone else. I'm going to bring more underwear too. That's why I needed the laundry. On the list, they say you bring this amount. Well, I'll tell you what, if you're taking 2 showers a day, it don't take long to go through that amount. Thank you very much.